Hi everyone, today I will show you how our Salesforce MCP integration transforms admin work from hours of clicking through browser tabs into minutes of natural conversation. Instead of manually logging into multiple orgs, installing packages through AppExchange, and building complex queries, you will see how Salesforce users can accomplish all of this, plus advanced data analysis and validation, through a simple chat interface. I'm going to use the Claude desktop chat interface to showcase the demo, but you can use any other client that supports MCP protocol, such as Cursor, Visual Studio Code, Claude Code, and so on. Let's start with the basics. Login into org. Usually, we would go to a browser and log into each org separately, producing a lot of tabs in a browser. With the help of our MCP server, we can log into each org simply via chat interface. The alias is needed to distinguish the saved orgs between themselves. The browser window will be opened automatically from the chat for you to log in with your org's credentials. The login information is going to be saved locally on your computer, therefore it can be used going forward. It means that you can interact with multiple orgs from a single chat. As you can see, Claude has access to my other logged in orgs which I can reuse. Now imagine you're an admin or Salesforce consultant who works on a demo for a client and needs to set up a new org with some AppExchange packages installed. With our MCP solution, you can install packages using the chat interface. The only thing you need for this is the ID of the package you want to install. Now what we need to do is to execute a tool for installing package into an org. Since I already logged in into the org, Claude remembers its alias, so I don't need to provide it every single time I want to execute a tool. For this example, I'm going to use our AC job board AppExchange package for creating job offerings and providing an ability for applicants to submit job applications. Now, let's review what metadata comes with the package we have just installed. We can ask it a follow-up question, for example, whether it has any particular permission sets. Before working with the package, we can assign a permission set via the chat. Let's assign a permission set to our user. I'm going to assign the job board provider permission set to my Salesforce user, so I will be able to create job offering records. Okay, now let's proceed to actually interesting things. After assigning the permission set, we can have an ability to manage jobs. So let's create one right through the chat interface. You can see how Claude checks required fields for the records of the job object before creating the record. We can see the details of the job we have just created, but let's open it in Salesforce org just to take a look at it in its natural environment. Let's do even more fun stuff. Create multiple records via anonymous Apex code. Our MCP server has an ability to run custom-generated anonymous Apex scripts, which provides a lot of possibilities, but you must be very cautious with it. Claude is going to automatically generate some code for creating these records and execute it on behalf of our user, creating 10 more records in the database. To disable such tools like anonymous Apex code execution for your users, we added the read-only setting for the MCP server, which disables any create, update, or delete operations in the org while using the MCP server. Let's open the org to see our records. As you can see, we now have 11 records in the database with all the fields populated. Let's search through all records and find ones which have certain words in their fields. We don't know what fields and objects we are going to reference. Claude is going to figure out that by itself. Let's search for all records which contain words Death Star in their fields. By using the Search Records tool, we can perform complex searches through Salesforce records like search for a word urgent across cases, tasks, and events, search for CEO in title fields of contacts and leads, and so on. Except of searching for records, we can query specific records using different criteria. For example, let's query the jobs we created today and sort them by salary from highest to lowest. You can see that it queried exactly 11 jobs we created today and sorted them as intended. Such tools allow you to ask a wide variety of questions, such as show partners from California we haven't contacted in 30 days. Calculate the sum of all won opportunity amounts this year. List accounts with open cases but no activities in the last 30 days. Show top 5 sales reps by total opportunity amount this month. Find all accounts within 50 miles of a specific location, and so on. Moreover, we can not only use the MCP tools for working with Salesforce data, but use the AI capabilities of the chat interface. For instance, Claude, as well as ChatGPT, can generate some Python or JavaScript code and execute it in the chat interface. So let's try to generate some custom infographics and UI for the job records we have created. You can see that Claude just started generating some JavaScript code which will be rendered in the beautiful UI once it's done generating it. As expected, we can see the beautiful UI with infographics and interactive data table which can be filtered and sorted. Additionally, exactly the same MCP server can be used by developers through a command line interface or Visual Studio Code's Copilot. For developers, it provides even more capabilities. Some of them are querying records into CSV or JSON files, running Apex tests, running code analyzer and scanning tools, generating new objects and fields, generating new tabs, generating Apex classes and triggers, review debug logs, and more tools to come in the future.